Okay, so I'm going to show you how to create assessments in your online book. So I'm going to go to ClassLink. I'm going to sign in. I'm going to locate McGraw-Hill, Connect Ed, click on that. Then if you notice, I've got Math 7 and Math 7 Plus. It doesn't matter which teacher edition you click. You can access the assessments from either teacher edition book. Then you go to your menu, drop down to Assessment. Then you will always just click the first icon here that opens up your window, which is where you will create your assessments, assign to students, and also get your reports. So you'll always just go to this window right here to do all three of those things. Okay, so first we need to create a new test. So, or homework assignment. So this I'm going to label, let's just do 3.3 practice. Now, folder location, this is where it's going to save. And I have found that if you accidentally put it in a different folder, like I did, I accidentally saved these, you can right click them, not in this window, but you can right click them and move them to the correct folder. So I'm going to save it under my Math 7 book, which is Course 2, and I'm going to be in Chapter 3. So I opened that up, so this is the folder that it's going to save in. Now I'm going to create an empty test, finish. All right, so now I've created my test. So now I need to add questions. So up here in this question set, it is not going to break it apart into the lessons. This is going to be your entire test bank for all units. So down on this part right here, it will have the units broken up into your lessons. So I'm doing 3.3. So I'm going to come find the book lesson 3.3, click on it, drag it over, and then hit add. So it adds all those questions in, and now I see, okay, there's 24. Well, I don't want to assign a kid to 24. So I would go through and delete the ones that I want to go down to a better number. You can also edit them from here too. To change the question type, you just go here and edit. Then it brings it up and you can just, let's say I want this one to be -20 and hit OK. All right, so now I'm just going to leave it like that. And so it's all created, the assessment's done. So now I'm going to exit out. It automatically saves. So that was where I'm in Test Generator. Now I need to assign it to my class. So it shows up on their portal. So I go to Classes and Assignments. I then pick the hour. So my Math 7 class, hour 2, I drag and drop. And then where my test is located, it's important to remember, Math 7. And then it should open up to that folder, and it is right there, 3.3 practice. So then I just drag it over. Now this, I do want it as a recorded assignment. This isn't a test, this is going to be homework. Everything else stays. Then I'm going to include all the kids. Everybody's going to get this in their homework portal. I'm going to uncheck for homework because I want them to be able to do it as many times as possible. Limit the availability. So if I wanted this to not show up till tomorrow, then I could click here and be like, okay, I don't want it to show up till tomorrow. And end date, if you want to put an end date on it, let's say my unit will hopefully be over by September 17th. You have to have an end date. And then start time, let's say I want 7. Oh, I need to check it. There we go. 7 a.m. End time 7 a.m. Allow students to check their response. that just means they get a check at the end of doing one question, so it gives them immediate feedback after one question. And then scrambling, if it was a test or quiz, I could scramble it so there would be no cheating as to, hey, what you got on 3? They couldn't look off each other's screens. This one, so your detailed report. So if I want a detailed report, I don't want them to get the correct answers, but I want everything else. And I'll show you what they get on their reports. And then that's it. Okay, so now it will show up in their student homework portal, and it'll say 3-3 practice. So now they've completed it, and I want to see what they got. So again, you would go back to menu, assessment, click here, it opens up this window, and then you come over here and go to reporting. So I'm going to drag in their hour. And let's look at 9.2 assignment. So this then shows me their total points, their attempts, and then their duration. Okay, so this is where your conversations can come for, okay, Blake Miller, did you really understand it, or where were you going wrong? It only shows the last time that they took it. So if he's taken it four times, I can't go back and look at what he got on the first time that he took it. It only just shows me the last time. So let's say he comes up to, or let's do Melanie. She just missed one. So she could come up, and then I could pull up and see which one she missed. There's the student's answer and then the correct answer. And then this pulled up Melanie on the side, so you just exit out of there to go back to your class. Now let's say I wanted to look at how the class did on each question item. Those are my main two that I use. This one or the question item. So then your question item analysis breaks down each question. So 100% got this first question right. This one, here's the breakdown. 20 picked A, 1 picked B, 1 picked C, 2 picked D, so on and so forth. Okay. Now if I wanted to, okay, so now let me show you what it looks like on their end. So if I want to preview an assignment that I've kicked out to them, I'm going to drag in a class. Let's look at what this assignment looks like on their end. So I'm just going to go down to preview assignment. So this is how it shows up on their screen. So they go through and they will then, after they've answered the question, it turns blue. You can hit next. Let's say, oh, I don't know that one, I'm going to skip it. It leaves it white. For them to submit to the teacher, they have to go all the way down to the very last question and hit finish. So if I hit finish now, it's for sure going to count these 7 problems I don't have an answer for wrong. Okay, so whenever they redo an assignment, they have to go in and put in their right answers so they get points for those answers. They can't just redo the ones that they got wrong and hit submit. So let's say I go down here, I hit finish. Here is how their report will look. They hit yes, you're for sure ready to finish, is all that page was. And then here's where it says, all right, so I missed that one. My student answer was A. So I would go and put an X on my work page saying that I need to go back and do that, or circle it. Okay. And then if you got one right, it would say, it would be green, and it had points 1 out of 1 that you got it right. And then your score up here, I always made them put their score on their work page so that if there was ever a computer glitch to where for whatever reason I didn't get their score, which has happened, and they did it, they had a work page and they had their score on top, I always just took whatever their score was. If it was consistently, then I'd be like, okay, something's wrong. But sometimes that happens where they hit submit and for whatever reason it didn't come through on my end. So that is what it looks like for their report page on their end. Okay, one more thing. So I am finished with a unit and I want to clear out all of their assignments that are on their homework portal so they don't have them all listed. So to do that, I'm going to stay in classes and assignments, going to drag in my hour, and all you do is come here and go delete assignment. So it does get a little, does take a little bit of time, because I would then want to drag in this hour. Oops, you gotta cancel out that hour. So I drag in hour 3, and I would want to go through and clear their assignment as well. And right here, it gives you a quick little snapshot of the data from how they did as well. All right. Oh, one more thing I'll do just to show you is, so I'm back in Test Generator. Let's create a just a test. I'll just save it under my test. So let's say this is a test, and I wanted to pull from all different banks. So I literally could pull here and it'll bring it up here. So yeah, let's do that one. You scroll down. Okay, yeah, I like that one. Then you can also come down here, open up here, and you could open up ones that you've already included on a practice or a quiz, your review for your test, and you can drag and drop from any of them. Let's say I want to do a little bit of cumulative review. I can go back to chapter 2, drag and drop, and it throws that in there. Oh, that one I threw in the whole thing. So yeah, you can go from any of the units here, you can drag from all over. So now if I created a test and I don't like it, so that one I left under my tests, and I believed it was just called test. I just come over here and I right click it and I can delete it right there. So like this example one, right click, and you can delete from there. All right, I think I went over everything. If you honestly need help with any of this, I'm not an expert of it. I have been using it though since I've been in Olathe. So feel free to come ask me any questions. I'd be happy to walk you through it again, or try to problem solve if you have a problem. There you go.